Tell me when to go.
You got it. Go ahead and introduce yourself and begin.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. It's been a few months since I've seen you. I'm happy to be back. I'm going to turn my music down just a little bit because I can't hear myself talk. I hope everybody's feeling really good in their bodies today. If you haven't met me before, my name is Mary Olson. I have had MS for over 20 years, and I am a patient of Dr. Barbara Green. And to help me stay healthy and not just my body, control my MS symptoms, I practice yoga, and it also has helped me a lot in my brain and in my heart. So with that being said, and after class, if you have any questions for me, please, I'm always open for questions. I'm always open for recommendations, or if I did something that you want to talk to me about, I'm always open. You can talk to me here. You can always get a hold of me on Facebook. With that being said, go ahead and get comfortable in your chair. Don't lean back so far that your feet leave the floor. Your feet need to stay connected to the floor or the mat at all times. Sit up nice and tall. Bring the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Now, let me say this first. If you can lean back into the back of your chair and still keep your feet on the floor, that's okay for now. I will eventually bring you all the way up to bring your spine away from the back of your chair. Place your feet on the floor. Your thigh bones are out in front of you, parallel to one another, and your ankles should be directly underneath your knees with your toes facing forward. Stack your shoulders above your hips and place your hands in your lap somewhere so the arms don't feel like they need to do any work just yet. Once your alignment has been found and you're comfortable, close your eyes to the room. Begin to breathe through your nose if that's available to you this morning, and if it's not for any reason, give yourself permission to breathe through the mouth. Slide your shoulder blades onto and down your back. Gaze into the darkness behind the eyelids and invite your jaw to unhinge this morning. Create a little bit of space in between the top and bottom row of back teeth. Widen and soften your tongue, then place the tongue on the roof of the mouth where the tip of the tongue lands right behind your upper two front teeth to create a light seal, which is called Jiva Bandha. If you create a swallowing action with the tongue at the roof of the mouth, Jiva Bandha is going to assist you in clearing the nasal passages, and it's also going to help to open the back of your throat. With Jiva Bandha in place, soften the rest of your face, including your cheeks, your chin, your forehead, and your temples. Stay breathing through your nose and when the breath enters your body, take the biggest breath that you can. This is not the time to keep that belly tight and work your abdominal wall. This is the time to draw breath in slowly, keep the shoulders low, and to make the breath, make your belly as big as it can, a big abdominal breath. Wait patiently for the exhale to call to you at its very own time. And when that happens, let the belly draw back in. Feel the gentle contractions that are happening within the belly and the rib cage. And follow that breath as it leaves you slowly. Stay with this. Keep the face soft, the shoulders low, and the ears open. Begin to take in the sounds that you hear. Maybe these sounds are coming from outside of your home. Maybe you can focus on what sound is the furthest away from you. What do you hear? Maybe you hear something going on within the room that you're in. Recognize that, but do your best at this point when you do hear something not to attach a story to it. So when the mind tries to attach to what it hears and to take you off into a story, a plan, or maybe even a judgment about yourself or somebody else, come back. Come back to the breath. The breath is your anchor. The breath is your prana. The breath is your life force. It's the very first thing we do, and it's the very last thing we do in our lifetime. Try to slow it down. Try to honor it and feel the subtle changes that are happening in your body with both the inhale, that lengthening, that gentle lengthening of the spine as the crown of the head reaches up. Maybe you bring your chin down and in a little bit. And without losing the length in your spine, when you exhale, feel that little bit of contraction that happens in the area of not just the belly, but the diaphragm, the ribs, and the lungs. Use these actions in your body to bring yourself back to the present moment, which is the only moment that really matters. And stay breathing deeply. Let the arms be heavy. And notice how the temperature of the air in the room that you're in, feels up against the temperature of your skin. Feel the texture of your clothing and how it feels on your epidermis, or the very top layer of skin. And maybe the weight of your clothing and how it feels on your body and on your bones. Stay breathing deeply. Relax your ears. Relax your skull. And the next time, when inhale calls to you at its very own time, there's never a rush. When that breath asks to be taken, create a very subtle scooping action of these low belly muscles that live right below your belly button. You're going to scoop those muscles up and back, so now that the low abdominal muscles are offering support to your low spine. Allow Mula Bandha, that tone of the low belly, to stay in place. And as the inhale continues, create a very subtle lift of your bottom ribs up and away from your frontal hip points or your pelvis. By lengthening the spine just a little bit more, you're going to feel the ribs lift just a little bit and feel the breath fill the chest cavity and create space in between the ribs. Now, when breath calls to you to be released, honor that. Don't push or pull on the breath. Follow it, but instead of pushing it out, instead let it go and recognize if you're able to maintain that lift and expansion of your rib cage as breath leaves on its own. Stay with this. Keep your eyes closed. Keep Mula Bandha, and that tone, but that lift and expansion of the rib cage is Uddiyana Bandha. Keep that in place. Unless that causes you any kind of discomfort or anxiety, always back away from anything that I'm saying that doesn't feel good to your body. I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart into a classic prayer position. We call it Anjali Mudra. You don't have to call it that. You don't even have to bring your hands to prayer if it doesn't feel good for you for any reason. Another option, if Anjali Mudra is not okay, you can always place a hand on your heart, wrong side of the body, or you can place one or both of your hands on your belly. Feel the breath move through. Whatever hand position you have chosen, take a little bit of time, not much, just to check in and to feel or to recognize, is there anything calling to you today? It could be an affirmation. It could be a dedication. It could be a short prayer. Maybe you're working on something. Maybe you're seeking something. Maybe you are working harder on finding forgiveness for yourself or maybe somebody else. Whatever those words are to you, there is no right or wrong. It's whatever you feel that is most important in this moment. You might say these words to yourself silently so that you seal these words into your heart space. So that hopefully when your yoga practice is complete and you step off your mat or you leave your practice and you go back out into the real world, you have the ability to manifest what you are seeking. When you feel ready, not until then, bring your hands down away from your heart. Bring your hands to the outside of both of your hips and your thighs and reach your arms down, all the way down into your fingertips. Let the arms stay here for now and bring some attention to your feet. Your ankles should be underneath your knees and your shoulders above your hips. You want to keep Mula Bandha in place, Uddiyana Bandha in place. And with the inhale, we're going to start class a little bit different this time. You're going to bring your arms forward. You're going to let the entire inhale, bring your hands and your arms forward of you. Reach the arms long out of your shoulder girdle. Create space and keep bringing the arms all the way up or as close to being all the way up to frame your ears as possible. Straighten out your elbows. Don't lock anything. And if your arms, because they're weak or tired, can't come all the way up, that's okay. Honor your body and not my words. You want to straighten out your elbows, but you don't want to lock anything. As your arms reach up, the palms are facing one another. Lightly ground down into all four corners of both of your feet equally. Keep the belly tone and broaden your hand base for your thumb all the way across to your pinky. When you exhale the next time, don't rush to get there. You're going to exhale, hinge forward at your hip crease, ground down through your glutes, your feet, and the backs of your thighs, and we're going to start class in a child's pose today, Balasana. Now, you can come all the way down to the floor. Maybe your hands come all the way down. Maybe they don't. You need to release your neck. But something very important here is if you have any kind of heart condition, you feel dizzy, any kind of vertigo, don't come all the way down. I want you to place your hands on top of your thighs with the fingers facing forward and just come down a little bit. Find that child's pose that works best for your body and soften what you can soften. The only muscles that should be working here are the ones that are keeping you stable and safe on the seat of your chair. Let the shoulder blades move away from one another if your hands are down on the floor. Soften your back, release your jaw, and maybe say some yeses and nos with your head and your neck. When you're ready with an inhale, if you have your hands all the way down on the floor and your glutes are still working strongly to keep you safe on your chair, you have two options here. You can use your scooped belly, your Mula Bandha, to lift you all the way up using those core muscles. Or if that's not available to you today for whatever reason, you might walk your hands up the front of your shins. Try not to place your hands on the kneecaps. You want to keep them safe until eventually you come all the way up to a neutral spine. Take both of your hands and place them on your belly. Let the belly go soft. Close your eyes. Soften the tops of your shoulders. Slide the shoulders down away from your ears and make sure that the shoulder blades are on your back. A little bit closer to the spine, but not a whole lot. And with your eyes closed, I want you to take a nice big belly breath, just like you did at the very beginning of practice. And feel the hands move away from the center line of your body because your belly is allowing them to move away from you. And then feel the contractions that happen as you exhale, and maybe the hands move a little bit closer to you. Inhale once again at your own time. Make that belly really big. And exhale slowly, maybe finding that place in between the inhale and the exhale, the place of ultimate stillness that maybe you can trust yourself and hang out there for a minute. And just honor your body. Your body knows what to do. It's not gonna not tell you when it needs to breathe. One more time, inhale, make that belly really big, feel the earth underneath your feet, bring your chin down and in, and exhale slowly. Bring your hands down off of your lap, and as you inhale, bring the arms all the way back up to frame the ears. Reach up as you press down through the lower half of your body. Close your eyes and take 2 full deep breaths here. Keep reaching up high, not locking anything and not giving all of the effort or all of the strength in your body that you have for the day. Don't use it all here, just use what you need. When that second breath is complete, slowly bring your arms all the way back down. Remember, you're going to do one movement with one breath, so that exhale should last all the way to the end of the movement. Once the hands have come all the way down, you're going to pick them back up and you're going to place them on your thighs. You're going to rotate your fingers in towards the middle of your thighs. You put a little bit of a bend in the elbow. And here you're going to have to hinge forward a little bit. So your body is going to go in 2 different directions at the same time. The bottom half of the body is grounding down. The glutes are engaged. You need to wrap some muscle around bone in the area of the thighs. And when you lift and you spread your toes, what you're doing is you're engaging your feet. You're lifting your arches, you're strengthening your arches if you have them, but you're also engaging your legs, especially the calves. So it's up to you. Do you want to keep your toes lifted and spread? Does that cause you anxiety or any kind of pain? If that's happening, please back away and bring your toes back down to the ground. Keep your belly, your core working, the belly scoop in place. Once the hands are on top of the thighs, the elbows are bent, you're going to slide the pinky side of both of your hands down closer to your knees, but you're not ever going to put your hands on the kneecaps themselves. So you're going to lean forward a little bit, feel the contact of the palm of the hand into the top of the thigh, and I want you to create energy through the lower half of your body. Even though you're not moving, you can create flexion through the thigh muscles to create an action like the thigh muscles are pushing back into the palms of the hands. Squeezing your glutes might help you a little bit here, and toning the tummy, maybe just a little bit more, but don't ever struggle. Take a nice deep breath in slowly all the way down. Now this time, let the breath meet Mula Bandha, the toe of the low belly. Don't let that belly get really big. And when exhale calls to you, push back into your glutes and your hips. Press into your hands and your feet. Feel the backs of the thighs pressing down into the seat of your chair, and arch the middle of your back way back behind you by taking your gaze down. When you inhale, you're going to keep pressing through your feet, but you're slowly going to lift your gaze, your chin, and your heart, and rotate your elbows in next to your side ribs by bringing the fingertips to face forward. Give yourself a little bit of a hug with the biceps, triceps, and elbows, and take your gaze up. Lift your heart and close your spine with your shoulder blades here. So this front part of your body, your clavicles, can now open and create more space. Now don't let your knees go out wide. Keep them facing forward with a little bit of space in between the thighs. And with your next inhale, you're going to bring the spine all the way back up to neutral, taking the back bend out by bringing your sternum down. Wait for the next inhale. You're going to slowly bring the arms all the way up to frame the ears if that's there for you today. And when you exhale at your very own time, you're going to slowly return to child's pose, but not to stay. Keep those glutes turned on and working. The inhale is going to bring me all the way back to that beautiful neutral spine. I'm going to replace my hands on top of my thighs, bend my elbows, press lightly into my thighs, keep my fingers and my toes spread wide. If I let my belly go soft, I'm going to bring it in and up, and I'm going to draw a deep breath in. I'm going to wait patiently for the exhale, and when it calls, I'm going to press into the hands just a little bit harder. Don't hurt yourself. And I'm going to use that bind to arch my back way back behind me, tucking my chin and taking my gaze down. And now I'm going to engage my hips. I'm going to feel like I can press my hips way back behind me without actually moving. And I'm going to keep that action happening in my hips as I continue these 3 asanas or poses of cat, cow, child's pose. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, when you come into child's pose, don't stay there very long unless your body is asking you to. Come all the way up with an inhale. This is our last one. Place the hands on the lap, rotate the fingers inward, the elbows go out. Press into the feet, press into the back of the legs, the glutes, lengthen your spine from the crown of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Take a nice deep breath in and slowly exhale into cat stretch. Engage those hips, squeeze those glutes, press into the floor. Inhale, slowly rotate those elbows and necks to you. Give yourself a gentle hug. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, and close your spine with your shoulder blades so the front of your chest can now open. Then slowly with an exhale, bring your spine back to neutral. Wait for the next inhale, bring the arms all the way up, palms facing. And as you exhale, maybe you take your arms wide this time and come into a child's pose or balasana, and this time stay here or here for 3 full breaths. Try to breathe through your nose. Relax everything except for the muscles that are needed to keep you on the seat of your chair. Close your eyes. Let the arms be heavy. The shoulders have moved away. The shoulder blades have moved away from one another to opposite sides of your back. The belly is pressed down onto the thighs a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to breathe here. Stay mindful of that. If it causes any kind of panicky feeling, lift up a little bit. When you're ready, whether you use your hands or not, walk yourself or guide yourself all the way back up to that beautiful neutral spine once again. Roll your shoulders in 2 directions. So you can make these shoulders rolls as big and dramatic as you like, or maybe it feels better to make them tiny. Maybe you could do one shoulder at a time and isolate the movements. It's up to you. But what's most important is when you roll your shoulders one direction, make sure you balance it out and take them in the opposite direction. If your hands or your wrists are asking for a little bit of rotation or bending and straightening, please allow that to happen. It's very important that we don't lose sight of the smaller joints of our body. They need to move and bend as well. When you're done, return to that spine, the neutral spine, and place your hands on your lap. Close your eyes and take a full deep breath here and let your belly get big one more time. Soften the tops of your shoulders and unhinge your jaw. Good. Now, you're going to take both of your hands, you're going to lean forward and you're going to interlace your fingers underneath either the thigh or maybe the hands land under your knee. You're going to sit up a little bit. You're going to ground down through the left foot, and you're going to use the power of your hands and your arms to help you lift this right foot away from the floor. Looks something like this. So when you come back up, you need to go back to having your shoulders above your hips and your knees above your ankles. Don't lose your beautiful alignment. Now let me say this. I have the fingers interlaced here because we have MS and that leg might not be, able to hold up here without the help of the hands and the arms. If your legs and your core are feeling super strong today, you don't have to hold the bottom of your legs. Maybe you can hold on to the chair, the seat of the chair, or maybe even the legs of the chair. Find what your body needs in this moment. Take a nice deep breath in, and when you exhale, you're going to straighten your lifted leg. You're not ever going to lock your joints. So you're going to reach through the heel, keep a micro bend behind your lifted knee to keep the work out of the joint and into the muscles and the tendons. And with the exhale, you're going to straighten that leg and reach through your heel like you're pressing it way in front of you without locking that knee. And then you're going to point your toes out in front of you with an exhale. Then as you inhale, keep the leg lifted if you can, and then bring the toes to point back towards your forehead. Bring the toes back up to face the ceiling, broaden them, and then inhale, put a bend into the knee, and exhale to release the foot to the floor. Inhale, bring your arms back up to frame the ears, and at the same time, ground down through your right foot. As you exhale and the glutes are working strongly, now lean forward, maybe interlace your fingers somewhere underneath your left leg, keeping the right foot ground down. You're gonna sit up just a little bit, bring your shoulders down and back, wait for your next inhale, and you're gonna slowly lift that left leg as you ground down through the right leg at the same time. You're gonna bring that knee up as high as it feels good for you. And if you can't bring it all the way up and you need to keep the back of the thigh on the seat of the chair, please do that. The most important thing is you do what your body needs and not what I'm saying. You're going to keep that knee lifted as high as you can. You're going to wait patiently for the exhale. Straighten the leg, extend that thigh bone long out of the hip, reach through the heel without locking the knee, and point the toes forward to stretch the top of the foot. Inhale, bring the toes back up towards the ceiling, but don't keep them there. Now point them back towards you so that the bottom of the foot can begin to stretch. Bring the toes back up towards the ceiling. Wait for your next inhale. Before you bend the knee, bring that knee in and exhale to bring it slowly back down to the floor. Now you have your movement. Go from side to side. Find the variation that works best for your body in this moment. Not how you think it should be, not how you want it to be. Do what your body is asking for. Lengthening and stretching open those hamstrings, stretching the tops and the bottoms of your foot. You could even, after you straighten and point the toes a couple times, you could even, over time, take the foot in a circular motion. And just like I said before, make sure you go in both directions before you return the knee up high to the chest, and slowly with control. Try really hard not to just let that foot and leg collapse down. Try to use control, muscle contraction, and breath. The entire exhale is going to bring that foot down. One more time. Do each leg one more time. Treat yourself with loving compassion. Breathe deeply and maybe try to guide your next inhale to the back of your heart. Keep your shoulders low. When you are finished with both sides of your body, bring both feet down to the floor. Take your time, and when both feet have landed on the floor safely and the ankles are once again underneath the knees, walk heel toe your legs so close together that you go from the energy of two legs to one. Now you're going to have to sit up closer to the front edge of your chair because you're going to open your knees and your hips and you're going to need room. And if you're sitting too far back, you're not going to have that room. So the inside edges, the big toe mounds of my feet are touching. My thighs are really close together. I'm going to place my hands on top of my thighs for now with my shoulders low, my belly strong. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. I'll let you decide if you want it to be a belly breath or stopped by Mula Bandha. It's up to you depending on how much core work you're seeking today. And when your exhale calls to you at its very own time, no rush, I want that exhale to be the guide to take your knees wide and to bring the bottoms of your feet together to touch and to lightly press the four corners of your feet into one another and let your toes lift and spread away from one another. You can use your hands to help encourage the knees to move away from one another if that's okay for you. If you need the floor to come up higher to you, you can always place something underneath your feet. I have a yoga block, but you don't need a yoga block. You can use a book, a pillow. Pillow's not the greatest option, but something hard. When you're ready with an inhale, bring the knees back together, but don't stay here. We're gonna open the hips after some thigh bone extension, which was closed hip. Gonna let those hips open and breathe. Keep pressing the bottoms of your feet into one another. And the next time the knees go wide, the bottoms of the feet are supporting one another. Pause there with the knees open and wrap your shoulder blades around your spine and gaze up towards the ceiling. Lift your sternum and breathe. Bring the tops of your shoulders down away from your ears. Belly breathe here. Breathe slowly. And when you're ready with your next inhale, slowly bring, maybe use your hands, maybe you don't, bring the knees back together and replace the bottoms of the feet onto the floor. Return the legs to being parallel to one another and walk them a little bit hip distance apart so that you no longer have the energy of one leg, you're returning to two legs. Sit up nice and tall, bring your shoulders above your hips and your knees above your ankles if they left, and bring your right hand to the outside of your right thigh. Keep your shoulders on the same line as well as your hips on the same line. Your belly should be offering support to your spine. Your jaw is soft. Take a nice deep breath in, create space in between each vertebrae. Bring your chin down and in a little bit. The crown of the head is reaching up. And when exhale calls to you, ground down really pretty good here on the left side of your body, the thigh and the glute. And with that exhale, lean over to the right and let the right fingertips reach down towards the floor. But really do not let this left side of the body lift up from the seat of your chair. You need to encourage those muscles to hold you down so that you're safe. And when you lean down, take your gaze over the top of your right shoulder and look down towards your right fingertips. When you're ready at an inhale, bring that right shoulder back up to meet the left. But don't stay there. Go over to the left side. Let the left fingertips reach towards the floor. This right shoulder is going to move up closer to the ear, but I am not going to let the lower half of my body move off the seat of my chair. Inhale, come back up through center and go from side to side. Your inhale is going to bring you up to the neutral long spine. The exhale is going to invite the hand to move down towards the floor. Stretching all of this beautiful side body. The next time you come over to one side, pause there. Make any changes that can make this a little bit better. So is one shoulder in front of the other? Can you draw the back shoulder back a little bit more? Can you reach those fingers down a little bit more? Let's play with this arm. Maybe this left arm comes all the way up to frame the left ear as the right hand reaches down. Don't let the glutes peel up off the chair. Then come all the way up. Slowly lower that left arm as the right arm comes back up. Then when you're ready, lean over to the left. Keep that right glute and thigh working. And you can stay right here. You don't have to go anywhere else. Just another option for a little bit deeper stretch over here would be to bring that arm up closer to the ear and reach almost in a lateral bend to open up that side body a little bit more. Breathe here. Don't hold on to your breath and notice where your mind goes when the body is still. Try to bring your bicep, the lifted bicep, up to be in line with your ear if that's there for you today. And when you're ready, inhale, come all the way back up. Reach up with that right hand, right fingertips. Bring the shoulders above the hips and slowly with an exhale, bring that right arm all the way back down. Good. Place your hands on your shoulders and just roll the shoulders in both directions. And bring the shoulders to stillness. Our next action is going to be a twist, and I want to give you a couple of different variations because we're all in different spots in our bodies with MS. So I'm going to start out with the easiest way to do a spinal twist, and I'll take it up a notch, and you can decide for yourself which twist is going to feel best for you. The most basic twist, the most gentle twist that I can come up with is just to place both of your hands on the outside of one of your legs, just like this. Start at your feet. In yoga, you're always going to start at your foundation. So you want to start at your feet, press down into all four corners equally on both sides of your body, and lift and spread your toes. If the toes are lifted, your legs are engaged, pull that belly in and press down through the backs of the thighs and the hamstrings. I'm going to soften my shoulders. Now, when I place my hands on the outside of my thigh, I also want to use my core to help press the outside of my thigh back into my hands. I'm going to take that nice deep breath in, and then I'm going to use the bind of my hands to my outside leg to create a twist to my right. I'm going to gaze over my right shoulder. Inhale to come back up through center, let go of that leg. And if I want to stay with this twist, I'm going to go over to the other side and do the exact same thing. It's very important that you create this bind. You're twisting the spine, but the leg and the core still need to be working, and you can create that with the leg pressing back into the hands and the hands pressing into the outside of the leg. Now, if that's the twist for you and that's where you want to stay there and just go from side to side and find a place to find stillness on each side eventually. You can make this a little bit more intense. You can stack your knees one over the other, hug the thighs together, almost like a scissors coming together. Turn your glutes on and squeeze the thighs. One knee is stacked over the other. I can reach my one hand back, take a hold of the back of the chair somewhere, take my left hand to the outside of my right knee, sit up really tall, draw breath in. You're always going to twist with your exhale and twist. So just like I said before, the palm of my left hand is pressing into the crease of my left knee, and I want my knee, not the kneecap, to press back into the palm of my hand. My glutes are pressing down, my pelvis is stable, and then twist. A little deeper with that one. If you want to do that one, make sure that you uncross your legs, maybe shake them out real quick, and then go over to the other side. You can go even deeper, and that can be done by pivoting your body to one side of your chair, sitting up nice and tall, keeping the bottom half of your body engaged and pressing down, and placing both of your hands on the back of your chair, sitting up nice and tall, sternum stays down, belly stays in. Take a nice deep breath and exhale to twist. Lower your shoulders. Don't let those shoulders come up and hide behind your ears. That's probably your most intense twist here. Keep your feet on the floor. Don't let them move. If you like that one, stay breathing and then balance it out and come over to the other side. Make sure you start at your foundation, your feet first, and the knees over the ankles. Sit up nice and tall. Crown of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. Belly in, sternum down, and twist. Twists are excellent for your spine. It keeps it healthy, but it also is helping you aid in your digestion. When you're ready, you can come back to center. Now we're going to pivot to the left. I'm going to set up for a seated warrior one, and I changed the warrior one a little bit. So I want you to see how I'm doing this. So warrior one, my left leg, my left thigh, I'm going to bring the inside edge of my left thigh as close to the outside edge of the chair as I can. Okay, and then my left foot and ankle is on the outside of the left side of the chair. And once again, my ankle is always underneath my knee and my toes are facing forward. Now with warrior one is closed hip. So you're going to take your back leg, your right leg, and you're going to try to take it back behind you like this. But I completely understand if you can't get there. And if that's not happening for you today, just bring the leg out in front of you a little bit. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Then I want you to square your shoulders and your hips and facing the left side of the room. This back leg, I want you to come up on the ball of the foot. Do not place your heel down on the floor if it can be helped. Okay. Once your shoulders are square, the shoulders are low, your hips are square, you're going to press into the ball of that right foot and press down through the entire foot of the left side of your body, the left foot, excuse me, I can't talk. Get yourself set up with your hands on your hips. Listen carefully. So inhale, you're going to take your hands off your hips and you're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Now, as the fingertips reach up towards the ceiling, you've been here before in Supta Hasta Lola. When you bring the arms down, you're going to bend your back knee and bring it down towards the floor. Stretch your quadricep. When the inhale happens, feel the arms helping to lift the rib cage up off your pelvis and press down to the bottom of your right ball of your foot and straighten your right leg without locking the knee. Exhale, bring the arms down slowly and bend your right knee. Aim the knee down towards the floor to stretch your right quadricep. Here we go, one more time. Inhale, bring the arms up, straighten that back leg, stay up high on the ball of the foot, reach up, press down through the bottom half of your body, breathe. When you're ready, exhale, bring the arms down slowly, bend that right knee, point the knee down towards the floor, hold on to the chair if you need to. Take a deep breath here. Now ease up on that back leg, bend the knee deeper so the foot can slide forward to the front of your chair, and then pivot your glutes, your knees, your pelvis, your feet to face forward. Good. Step your feet wide, maybe to wider than your hips. That's all you really need. Ground down through your glutes, stay safe on the seat of your chair, bring your arms all the way up. And exhale, come into a wide leg, forward fold. Same thing, if you're not safe to come all the way down, just place your hands on your thighs and come down as far as it feels good. Soften what you can soften. Only keep working what needs to hold you in this space. Come back to your breath. Let that story go. And come all the way back up to your beautiful neutral spine. Walk heel toe, your toes, your feet, your legs back together. And then you're going to pivot to the right. We're going to set up for the other side of warrior one. Same actions, just different side of the body. And one side might feel different than the other here. So be mindful of that. Don't get upset with yourself. It's normal. It's okay. Just honor where you're feeling restriction. So I'm going to scoot back a little bit. I'm going to stay on the front edge of my chair. I'm going to place my foot down first, my right foot. I'm going to place my ankle underneath my knee. My knee's not going to travel left and right. I'm going to hold it still. I'm going to lift and spread my toes. When I'm pressing down through that right foot, then I'm safe to slide that back leg back behind me. If I can't get it back, I'm just going to take it out to the side in front of me a little bit. Don't hurt yourself. Stay up wherever you are. If you can, stay up on the ball of the foot. If your bottom of your foot has to come down, allow it. You're going to square your shoulders and your hips to the right side of your room. You're going to sit up nice and tall and lower your sternum. And your pelvis is being held and supported by Mula Bandha and your glutes. So keep all of that engaged. Sit up nice and tall. And when you're ready with an inhale, bring those arms all the way up. We're as close to being framed by your ears as possible. Don't force anything. And when you exhale, bring the arms and hands down slowly and guide the knee, your back knee, towards the floor to stretch the quadricep. Keep that right foot down. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Don't lock the knee and bring the arms up. Exhale to bend the left knee and to bring the hands down. One or two more times with your breath being your guide and your body being your teacher. Move in and out of warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. Consider maybe the next time that you raise the arms and the leg is straight, the back leg is straight, you find stillness for one full breath. One inhale and one exhale. When you're ready, begin the journey of the arms coming down. That back knee bends. You can hold on to the back of your chair if you need to here. Keep your belly strong and pulled in. Spine is long. Your jaw is soft. When you're ready with an inhale, put a deeper bend into that left knee so that the knee can come closer to your chair. You're going to place the bottom of your left foot on the floor and use that to pivot to be forward. Your knees out in front of you. Once you return to sitting forward in your chair, step your feet out wide. You've been here before. Hold on to your chair somewhere, whether it's the legs or underneath, and go into the movement of windshield wipe. So windshield wipe is taking knees over to one side. This leg that is on the inside, this knee, just like you did a second ago, is going to point down towards the floor so you can stretch your quadricep, and you're going to turn your gaze opposite of your knees always. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to come back through center with both my knees. I'm going to exhale, go over to the other side. This right knee is now going to point and reach down towards the floor. I need to bring my spine back up. You probably saw how I was leaning back. I shouldn't be like that. I should be sitting up nice and tall, belly engaged, reaching that knee down. You're probably on the inside edge of your right foot now, the big toe mount. Inhale. Exhale, go over to the other side. Move in and out of windshield wipes a couple of times to let the hips move a little bit after being in a closed hip position of warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Begin to equalize it out. You're never going to count how many times you move. You're going to let your body tell you, like, okay, this side feels equal to this side. When you're done, you're going to bring the body to stillness, and you're going to heel toe your feet and your legs back together. Okay. Sit back in your chair a little bit. We're coming to the end of class. We're going to go into a seated version of pigeon, but I've changed a little bit so you can watch ahead of time if you want. We're going to do pigeon, but we're going to add a little bit of a twist to it. If you've never practiced pigeon with me, I'm going to talk you through it and show it to you all at the same time. So I'm going to ground down through the bottom of my right foot. I'm going to lift and spread my toes. I'm still practicing. I'm bringing class down, but I'm still pretty engaged. My ankle's underneath my knee, my belly is toned, and my shoulders are above my hips. My hamstrings are still working, and my glutes are still working to hold me down onto the seat of my chair. When I'm safe and I'm aligned well, then I'm allowed, or allow is not the right word, but I'm safe to lift my left foot up. Use your hands if you need. I'm going to open up that hip so I can place the outside of my left ankle somewhere at the base of my quadricep, avoiding my kneecap at all times. This is your pigeon pose. So a regular pigeon, let me do the easiest version first. So if you do not want to incorporate the twist, let me just show you where you can go. You want to create the bind of the ankle into the quadricep, and the quadricep pressing back into the outside of the ankle. Don't press so hard that you cause pain. My hands are on my lap, and I'm going to exhale with my glutes engaged to lean forward. The more you lean forward with your glutes pressing back, that left hip is going to open. Don't go down full force right away. Over time, that left hip is going to open slowly. The more you go down, the more you go forward. It's going to open a little bit more, but never encourage pain or anxiety. Now you can stay just like this and keep opening up that left hip just like here, like you are now. You don't have to go any further. I'm going to give you one more option. Okay. So this is pigeon with a twist. You're going to lean forward a little bit. You're going to take your left arm and you're going to reach it out long in front of you. Find extension. Bring that arm bone out of the shoulder girdle as much as you can. Reach into those fingertips. And then I'm going to bring the top of my left arm and my hand to the bottom of my left foot. The bottom of my foot is pressing into the top of the hand, and the top of the hand is pressing back into the foot. And I'm gonna use that bind to turn to the right a little bit with my shoulders low. I'm gonna lengthen my spine and lift my heart. And now if I'm okay here, the twist has been found, my hips are still facing forward. I'm gonna raise my right arm and take my gaze up towards my right thumb. Stay breathing. If that's too much, don't go there. Come out with an exhale. If you're okay here, stay like this. Keep your left hand where it is. Lift your heart, lengthen your spine, and lift up with an inhale. And you could even take that right arm back behind you, and it will open up all of this in the area of the shoulder. Find what feels good for you. What feels good for me might not feel good for you. Honor that. Whether you're going forward or you're lifting up, find what you need and find stillness and breathe into it. 3 full breaths with your eyes closed if you can. When you're ready to come out, take your hand off of the bottom of your foot, bring your right arm down with an exhale, and slowly bring your chest face forward. Now, if you were in a twist, I want you to lean forward without the twist 1 time. Go down as deep as it feels good. Don't hurt yourself. When you go into pain and strain, you're losing the essence of yoga. Inhale, come all the way back up. Good. When the spine is neutral, then it's safe to bring that left foot all the way back down to the floor. Shake your legs out, go into windshield wipe quickly. You can go into butterfly, but move your legs a little bit. Student's choice. You get to pick what you want to do. You're not going to stay there for long, so we still have the other side. Come back to stillness. Sit up nice and tall. Use those glutes and those hips. They're still working hard, and you're going to pick up your, what side are we on? Your left foot? Yes, your left foot. No, right foot. Sorry. My bad. All right. So the exact same setup. Top of the thigh is pressing into the outside of my heel. My heel is pressing back into the bottom of my quadricep. My belly is still toned. My jaw is relaxed, and the crown of my head is reaching up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach this right arm if I'm going into a twist. Now, you know, if you just want to stay here and move in and out of pigeon, that is more than awesome. If you want to add more to it, you're going to lengthen that right arm first. You're going to maybe hold on to the back of the chair a little bit and guide, create a twist to the spine by rotating your rib cage to the left this time, enough that you can place the top of the right hand on the bottom of the right foot. Create the bind of the hand pressing into the foot pressing back. Sit up nice and tall, tone your belly. Take a nice deep breath in and twist. Use the bottom of that foot and that hand to twist. Maybe you gaze underneath your left armpit. Maybe you gaze up towards your left hand. Bring the twist out carefully. Leave your right hand where it is, but lower your left. Keep your left knee stable and facing forward over the ankle. Don't let it travel left and right. Here we go, one more time. Inhale, bring that left arm up. Use the hand and the foot to twist to the left. Pause here, stay breathing, and notice where your mind goes when the body is still. If you want to open up your armpit on the left side of your body, take that left arm back behind your left shoulder a little bit and notice what feels different here. Does it feel different than the other side? Does it hurt? Is it stuck? Is it sticky? If that's happening, back away. When you're ready, with an inhale, lift that left hand all the way back up towards the ceiling. Take your right hand off the bottom of your foot and come forward. When you're facing forward, exhale to lower that left arm and hand. Keep your legs as they are. Keep everything engaged. And as you exhale, lean forward with your glutes pressing down. Gaze down at the floor. Feel that right hip really opening here. And then when you're ready with an inhale, slowly come all the way back the spine is neutral, you're safe to take that top leg down. Find movement. Straighten your legs out. Butterfly, windshield wipe, or maybe you just want to go into a child's pose. Find your breath. Come back to your prana. Roll your shoulders out, move your neck, say some yeses and nos, not with your voice, but with your head. Sweep the chin across the front of the chest and go from shoulder to shoulder. And eventually come to stillness. I want to encourage you, now that we're at the end of class, I would like for you to do Shavasana on the floor. But if you can't do Shavasana on the floor because you have a hard time getting up and back into your chair, it's okay. Don't force anything. I don't want you to be stuck on the floor for the rest of the day. So honor what you can do. I'm going to give you a few seconds, maybe a minute, to come down onto the floor if that's desired or needed or wanted. If you are coming down onto the floor, lay on your spine, your supine, so lay on your back. Bring your head to the floor, lengthen your legs long out of your hips, bring your arms down by your sides with the palms to face up. Release all muscle tension. No more bandha, no more belly bandha, no more chest bandha. Lower the toes, no more foot bandha, hand bandha, everything soft. If you're seated in your chair, just place your hands in your lap. Sit your spine back. Don't sit back so far if your feet peel away from the floor. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears. It doesn't matter where you're at. And when you're ready, close your eyes. Continue to breathe deeply. You could even bring your hands back onto your belly like we've been doing a couple times through practice, to help you connect with the breath body and to come back to the present moment. You don't have to, it's just an option. It's grounding sometimes to feel that belly move with the palms of the hands. This moment is for Shavasana. This is the time that you give the body to absorb and process all the work that you just did. It's time that the body can send you gratitude for stretching it open, creating more space. For some, Shavasana is the hardest pose in yoga because this is where it's challenging to control your mind. If you're ever practicing on your own, I recommend that you try to stay in Shavasana for at least 5 minutes. That gives the body time to relax. Sorry, guys. Now take a really big, deep breath in, nice and slow as you can. Let that belly get as big as it wants to get. And let that leave slowly. Invite a little bit of movement to your fingers and your toes. Just a little bit of a bending, straightening, maybe a little bit of rotation just to reawaken the physical body. When you bring the smaller joints to stillness, only if you're on the floor. Bend one knee very carefully, one at a time. Once the knees are bent, very carefully roll over onto your favorite side and use your bottom arm as a pillow for your head. Sidelines, child's pose. If you did Shavasana in your chair, just stay here. Keep your eyes closed. Stay deeply relaxed. Scan your body here. Do you feel any changes? Does anything feel any different? If you're on the floor, when you feel ready, keeping your eyes closed to the room, use your arms and your hands to help guide you all the way back up to a comfortable seat. Everyone, keep their eyes closed to the room and place your hands in your lap with the palms to face up in the gesture of receiving. In my classes, the gesture of receiving is to send gratitude back to yourself and to who you are as a person. The good that you do freely, the love that you give freely. Honor that, appreciate it, don't ever lose sight of it. When you're ready, bring your hands together in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra. You know you don't have to come to prayer. You place a hand on the belly of the heart. I want you to be comfortable at all times. If your hands are in prayer, bow your chin and send gratitude back to your body for allowing you to take part in this yoga class and to having a mind that is open enough to try something new. There is a divine light that resides in each one of us, and the light that lives within me sees and bows down to that same divine light that I see in each one of you. We are one. Namaste.
Namaste. That was good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.